I want to talk about this book. This book is now nearly not quite a decade old. I was going to say maybe 8 years old. This book is about 8 years old, coming up to a decade in a couple of years. This book, Breakout, Space Outlaw, is my first novel where I got a little bit of success. I was going to say it wasn't a breakout novel by any means. Didn't change the world. Didn't make me a ton of money, but it did decently well. It sold a couple of thousand copies, or possibly more now, and it showed me that I could write, or that I want to see a talent, or that I had an idea, or I could extract an idea, or I could do this thing that is called writing. My name is Dominic Mondesi, and I've written 25 books, blah, 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 blah. There's other videos explaining who I am. But for now, this book, when I first wrote it, it was my first proper book. I had written a series previously called Fallen Angel. Terrible. This was my first big boy book. And and it did what it needed to do. I wasn't looking for stardom or super success. I was looking to see that I could write and I could make a career at this thing called writing. So funny story is, when I was writing this book, I was still living at home. Also writing in my car at the time. Writing in my car, and there was a lot of cool nights, lot of writing in the dark, in like abandoned car parks, in forests, just anywhere where I could write where I wouldn't be disturbed. And many times I'd finish writing and my fingers would be cold and numb because I would got carried away, lost in the world, lost in the flow. And when this was done, I remember when I finished this book, when it was done. Now for me, this is a small book. It's only 287 pages long, whereas Destroyer of Gods is almost 600 pages. But this is a small book for me. This took about like a year. And when I finished it and I looked for editor, the first editor I looked for was going to charge me like $5,000. Luckily I didn't go with her. Second editor was a writer, which my mistake was made there. The second editor was a writer living out of Japan, and he gave me back the copy, but the tone and the vibe he gave off, I remember he even said this. He said, "I don't think you should pursue this career. I don't think you are quite there yet in with this book, and you should can it and maybe take a few years, do a writing course, whatever. Now, if this person had been Stephen King or Brandon Sanderson or Robin Hobb or someone of that ilk, and I would have taken that suggestion on board. So, someone's always given me, I think my grandmother gave me the best pieces of advice. Always only take advice from people who have done what you're trying to do or better. Now, this editor was also a would-be author. This editor had also put out books, but looking at the sale ranking and the reviews, the books had tanked both ranking-wise, both review-wise. It didn't do great. So for this person to give me advice on what I should or shouldn't do kind of pissed me off. But took on the advice. His notes had some good notes regards to how I can improve the novel. Did that, released it, and it was like I said, not huge fanfare, but people liked the book. More people liked the book than hated the book, which is always a good thing. If you're trying to do anything in life, if more people like it than hate it, just keep on going. It doesn't matter if 2 people like it, 1 person hates it. That's all you only should focus on those 2 people. They outweigh the negative. So I found another editor who I had done most of my books up until this point. Someone else does my editing for me now, but They helped tremendously, and I finished this book. And like I said, like people have read it, love this series, and I can't really read it back now. I can really read my my stories back to myself because I want to rewrite them, and I see things I've done wrong or clunky chapters. But this story is about a man called Phoenix Jones who is abducted by an alien force and has to. It's almost like, well, it's not almost like, it was my take on Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy mixed with A-Team. That's what I wanted to write. And the characters in this book are very similar to Guardians of the Galaxy, but with my own spin on it. And the characters, the crew go on. It's more light-hearted nature. The first like 3 books are more light-hearted in nature. And then as we progress, my dark style comes out. And I always say this, whenever you are creating anything, whatever you are, it takes a while till you find your voice. And I only found my voice in book maybe 5 or book 4. And then all my books, whatever books you read, there's always like a dark layer underneath them. Gabriel, my friend, Gabriel Ruffrig, another author, always takes the mick out of me because he always says, for whatever reason, you can't write a happy-go-lucky book. And I can't. It's just not in my nature. I just like almost not, sometimes grim dark, but sometimes with like the dark comedy humor. And yeah, this book is about Phoenix Jones and his friends who he makes in this first book is he gets locked in a prison, hence the name Breakout. And him and a group of friends who become his crewmates have to break out of prison. And from there, their escapades throughout the galaxy commences. Yeah, great fun book. And I just, one of the hidden gems I don't promote enough, and I just want to talk about it. This series and this book made me believe that I could be a writer. And for that, I'm always thankful. I'm always thankful. If you're a friend of mine, if you're a friend of mine or a reader of mine, give this a go. 6 books completed. Book 6 is about 220 or 240,000 words long. But out of the whole series, everyone loves that book greatly. It's, if I can find it here somewhere, but it's a massive chunky book. But yeah, I've got to really give thanks to the reading and writing gods. Whoever those reading and writing gods are, got to give thanks to this book. Mwah! It means a lot to me. It showed me that I could be an author. Anyway, that's me for today. I will talk to you good folks and ladies at another venture. That's a weird sign off. I never did that. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, big kiss. Mwah! We out.